What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Couch Consumer live stream. We've got a lot to talk about this time around. We're going to be talking about primarily layoffs, and they're getting pretty dire. Like I want to say this week we had EA laying off 5% of their workforce, and more to come, and that's coming from EA. And then PlayStation, they laid off about 8% of their workforce and shut down their London location and cancel a bunch of games. One of those being a live service Twisted Metal game reboot, which I would have definitely loved to play that one. The state of gaming is in a really weird place right now, and what we want to do is kind of find the target. Where did it start? Like what condition it is right now, and what it will look like in the future, and possibly what we can do to what advice we can give these big companies to turn it around. We got all that with a little more sprinkled in throughout, but let's get to our panel. We are missing Panda today, but we do have the very smart, sharp commentary from Gamer Geek, so let's get over. Hello.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm doing all right. And for everyone watching, and if you watch this after the fact, go ahead and leave a like if you enjoy the live streams, enjoy the videos, and don't forget to subscribe. And we have Gamer Geek's information in how to get a hold of her in the description. So definitely pay her a visit, like, share, and subscribe to her YouTube and her X. But let's get into a little bit. What games are you that are upcoming are you keeping an eye on right now that you want to see?
Honestly, the major one that I really want to get my hands on is Hellblade 2 right now.
Right on. That's a good one.
Yes, that's the game I'm really waiting for. I was also waiting for Mario versus Donkey Kong, but I was able to snag a copy.
That's great. Okay.
Got the last copy at the store the other day, so I was like, woohoo. Let's go.
Right on. Have you heard of Kingmakers? That was I want to say I sent that to you and Panda.
Yeah, I got to skim through it. I didn't really get to read the whole thing.
Right on.
Mom life.
Yes. That's totally fine. Freaking another one I'm looking forward to is it's called Castaway. Yes, that one by Peel and THQ Nordic. That looks like a lot of fun.
Yeah, I like THQ Nordic. They come out with some good stuff.
They do.
I've always been a fan, so if I see anything by then, I'm like, oh yeah.
But Hellblade, that is a really good one. Like I had a hot take on that one that I thought it was better than God of War, and I'm not sure how people feel about that, but
honestly, like I really loved the first one. Like I said, I've got a thing for Vikings, so I'm there. But I love the fact that they had the mental health aspect of it.
Yes.
Because back then, they had to probably come up with all these wild, crazy stories as to what these mental health disorders were. It's wicked. And so to see it, and then the way that they do the voices in her head, so you're hearing them too, you get kind of that effect of it. Way better if you got on headphones.
I agree. 100%. Yes.
The fact that they brought in psychiatrists and neurologists and everything like that to consult on the game. Yeah. That's dedication right there. And so I'm really when they showed that preview at the Game Awards, I was like, let's go, and I've been like, when's it coming out? Why April?
And it looks like they're going to have more monsters, like true blue monsters. Like I think I saw a Cyclops in one of them maybe. And then there's gigantic, it was pulling up from a mountain. I want to see, I can't wait to see their take on that.
Oh, I
Like
can't either.
it's realistic. What's it? Grim Garrett? What's his name? Oh gosh, it's a story, but they made it into a movie. And I want to say Angelina Jolie, she played a dragon. Beowulf. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. That was a I forget what they call it. It's like a type of poem, like the Iliad and stuff like that.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah.
And I'm like, how are these like these poems, but they're like chapters? You know? Yeah. like what was going on in the Greek world that's how it turned out. It's so funny.
Yeah. And it's freaking
been a long
awesome.
time since high school, so I don't remember.
Yes, I know, right? Talk about dating ourselves, right?
I know. Yeah. We're not going to talk about that right now.
No, it's totally fine. It's totally fine. Shoot, what else was there? Oh, yes. Freaking movies. What movies have you seen recently?
Recently? Mm-hmm. Honestly, I've just kind of caught up on everything that had been in the theaters. Right. I know for me, the Marvels was probably the most exciting for me.
Okay.
Because I love, the whole MCU.
Yeah.
I thought it was really cool that they did like all female, mm-hmm. and it got such bad reviews that I just don't even understand.
Yeah.
But like we were talking about last week, box office isn't really as accurate anymore because we could wait 3 months and then or rent it at home and pay $25.
That's right.
versus going and dropping 60 for 2 or 3 people at the movie theater. So I was watching it and I was like, man, this is like hilarious. It's wonderful. It's got action. I don't understand why so many people didn't like it. And like, I mean, I watched it on Disney Plus and immediately like got the 4K Blu-ray digital code pack off of Amazon. Like as soon as the movie ended, I was like, oh, yep, I'm getting it.
Right on. Okay.
So, and then we did Aquaman.
The first one or second one?
The second one.
Okay.
And that was really good.
Okay.
I liked it better than the first one. I felt like it had more of a storyline.
Gotcha. Yeah.
And then Gran Turismo came out a while ago, but mm-hmm. that one, I'm still watching it. Like, I'll pull it up like every couple of weeks and watch it because they did so good with that. I was like, man.
I'm going to say it's on Netflix now, isn't it?
I think so.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think that's one I've been meaning to watch too.
Aquaman just came out on Max.
Okay.
For anybody that wants to watch that. And then I haven't found the new Trolls movie on anything yet. Sorry, guys. So, but they did just make a new Mega Man movie, or not Mega Man. Yeah, Mega Man. I guess it was like this cartoon villain that became a hero like years and years ago. And they just did I think it might be on Peacock.
Okay. I'm gonna have to look at that too.
Where like this band of villains that he used to hang out with comes into town. They don't know he's a hero now.
Yeah.
Because it's like they totally stole it from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, but he fell in love with a reporter. Oh. And so he wasn't going to be evil anymore. So now he's not evil, but this band of villains came back into town, and so now he's
and that used to be his gang.
Yeah, and so he's pretending to still be a villain so that he can like infiltrate them, but he's really a hero. And that's about as far as I got on that preview last night, because I just saw it last night and I was like, okay,
on. That's cool, then, dude. Yeah. Seriously.
An animated movie called The Tiger's Apprentice was the other new one I watched.
Is that any good?
It's so good.
Really?
Like, I didn't think it was going to be as good as it was.
Yeah.
But it really was. Because it's like the Chinese Zodiac.
Right.
They're actually alive, mm-hmm. and they're immortal, and they've got these powers, and they're protective of the universe.
Yeah.
And so it turns out that this kid thought his grandma was like this kook, and real superstitious and everything. And then he meets one of them, and he's like, "Whoa!"
Yeah.
So these weren't just stories, you know?
No. See,
And
I saw the
yeah.
preview for that, and like
Mhm.
I thought, like, because doesn't he turn into he just turns into a tiger that's like that glows or whatever? And I was
Mhm.
like, man, that is so lame. I want something. I want him to turn into an anthropomorphic tiger. You know, I want
Yep.
him to have, you know, two arms, to stand upright, and be freaking super buff and kick
Yeah.
butt and all that. That's what I wanted to see. I
Well,
wanted to
it's
see
funny
that.
because they like talk,
Yeah.
like, and then they'll turn into these human forms. Like the dragon was pretty cool. And I was just like, whoa.
Here,
Like,
hold on.
but yeah, I actually really enjoyed it.
I'm trying to see. Oh gosh, here, hold on.
My cat's
Because
trying to break out of the office now.
this one, I'm looking up a movie right now, and I think you would absolutely dig it. It's a like a cat spirit that
Oh, okay.
lives in the forest, and its home was being deforested, and it found its way into the city, and so the bad guys are played as the good guys in the beginning, and then
Mm.
turns out that the good guys were tracking the cat because he has a power that can create its own realm, you know what I mean? But he doesn't know. He's just still a young spirit, so he doesn't know. But the guy that finds him, that plays as the good guy, kind of manipulates them and is trying to use his power to create his own spirit realm for all the spirits that kind of have been done wrong by the humans.
Gotcha.
Oh my gosh, I don't know if I'm gonna hear.
I'll have to look that up. My kid might know it. He came over to hang out for the weekend, so I can always ask him too.
Yeah, it's so good.
That's awesome.
Gosh, I can't remember the name of it, but it is absolutely amazing. But like that kind of stuff I have to watch by myself, because like my kids, they don't like movies in different languages. They dig on some of it, but my wife is totally against it.
Yeah.
She will watch no movie in another language. So when I
She's like, no, I don't like it.
Yeah.
I'd rather watch it in the original language with subtitles
Me too,
than
yeah.
having it dubbed, though.
Yeah.
Because it drives me nuts. I'm like, y'all's lips aren't moving at the same time. Like, they don't even look the same. Like, this isn't even cool. So I would rather have that than a dubbed one.
100%. That's how I feel about it too.
You can get away with dubbed on animated stuff, but not like live action.
No, because the art is way better. They can take their time with it.
Yep.
They don't have to go through crunch. Freaking Toriyama.
Exactly.
But another one I saw was the Avatar. So with that one, it is painfully okay. They did okay with the bending. The bending looked pretty good. I'm not gonna lie, I've kind of liked it. But the story, like when they say that they paid no homage to the original cartoon, in my opinion, that is 100% true. It feels like they're trying to get all the Avatar stuff out of the way. They're touching these, like plot points that would make fans of it, kind of go nuts. They're touching on them, but it's like they're rushing through it just to get to the story that they want to tell. And for that, I think it makes it dog crap. It makes it absolute garbage. And oh God, and I hate to say this about it, because, kid actors, they're children. But this show, like, completely is on the shoulders of the main actor who plays Aang. Is completely on his shoulders, so he has to be really good, and he just isn't. He's just not very good. So I got to where they met Boomy, and they completely wrecked Boomy's character, because he was the crazy, wise old friend of Aang, and now he's just a bitter old friend of Aang, and it doesn't look good on Boomy.
That doesn't work well with the story if they made him like a bitter, cranky old dude.
Yeah. Because apparently, Aang getting trapped in ice, he left them. Yeah. He has no idea what's going on, and He's coming back now.
It's like me waking up from a nap. Where am I? What year is it?
Yeah.
How long have I been gone? What age am I?
He didn't want to get trapped in ice, you know. He was just going. He got caught in a storm, and one thing led to another. And Boomy's treating him like he ran away. It's like he didn't run away.
That's not cool.
Yeah, it's like, why do you think he's so young, dummy?
Yeah,
Sorry.
I wanted. Well, no, I agree with you. I would have. Yes. Like, but no, like I saw it and I was like, maybe I'll give it a chance this week, while I'm sitting here. And then, my daughter ended up coming over and we were finishing Percy Jackson for her. And I was like, so have you watched the new Avatar yet? Because the 3 older ones, they watched it religiously.
Right on.
And she was like, I don't know. She was like, but maybe it's better than that crap of movie that they came up with. And I started laughing and I said, well, I wasn't disappointed by the movie because M. Night Shyamalan has like one good hit, one crap movie, one good hit, one crap movie. I said, no, I didn't have high expectations going into that movie.
That's
I said, and I knew it would be nothing like the show. I said, so I actually enjoyed it because I was already disappointed before I hit play. And I said, but I got a lot of people into the animated series by showing them that movie. And then if you say anything around my older 2 kids about the movie, they just you'll be like Avatar and they'll be like the movie blah blah blah. Like it's hilarious.
It's like Dragon Ball Evolution.
So
that movie.
So like they haven't even bothered with the show yet. I think they're afraid, and I don't know that I can handle their wrath at the show if they do watch it.
100%. And I'm right there with them. I totally 100% get it. It's like with the way that they do these reboots and live action remakes or whatever, it's never ever going to be as good as the original, especially if they're trying to adapt a cartoon. They can't be as expressive, so it's it's just not going to be as good.
Yeah, exactly. There's some stuff like I think you could do a reboot, but you're going to have to do it like animated. Like if you say they could have gone like the Pixar route and done it that way instead of just like the drawing animation.
Yes.
But you've got to keep it close to that original source material, or definitely know that you've got something that can add to it and add to it well.
Right on.
And they're just not doing that. Like, I don't mind a reboot. I don't mind any of that. Doing these live action shows of Avatar, you should have learned from the movie.
Yes.
And you had an opportunity to do something good and you have failed.
Yes.
So get ready for the fans.
The costumes are mint. They are pitch perfect. Love the costumes. Love the world. It's gorgeous. It's just whenever you get to the characters, it's just so bad. So bad.
Yeah, I don't know. The outfits look really good. The costume design looks great, but
so good.
I've just been worried, and then so I waited for you guys, and then y'all said something, and I was like, I don't think I'm going to be able to watch it. So, I wish them the best of luck, but that's a tough one. So I'm interested to find out what my cousin says.
Yeah, same. I'm gonna have to, if he likes it, let me know, and tell me what he liked about it.
Yeah, because he's hardcore on Avatar.
Yeah,
like he got on to me because I hadn't started Legend of Korra yet.
Okay, so Legend of Korra for me. It had one really great season. That was the first season. The first season, the villain was amazing. Korra was strong-willed, but she definitely had an arc. She was a strong protagonist, but when it came to it, she, tried to put on a facade whenever, I can't remember the top guy's name, but whenever the antagonist was after her, she was really scared because she didn't want to lose her bending. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that would, freak anybody out. And she actually broke down, had an arc, and she overcame it, which was perfect, beautiful. I thought it was like, it couldn't have been a better continuation of the Avatar. But the second season is another one that I like. After that, I'm out because they got into the spirit realm real heavy. And I'm like, mm-mm. It was like the spirit realm should be like seasoned in there, not like an actual, main pushing point for the story. And that's where it really took me for a loop. I didn't like it so much.
Yeah, I get that. That's kind of like I'm big on Lego Ninjago.
Yeah.
And it was mostly I got into it because my kid started watching it, like he's grown up with that show. And then like I want to say like 6 months ago, like I saw something and it was like this new like spin-off type. And so instead of like Lego Ninjago Masters of Spinjitzu, it's something else now. And like I was watching it and I was like, I don't know that I'm that into this. Like you have a formula, you got to follow it, like, but I could probably give it a chance. But I don't know. I'm just picky.
Yeah. It's a lot of time, but let's get into our first discussion. So we kind of agree where all the ills for the game industry, where it is now, we kind of agree where that came from. But I want to hear it, straight from you. Where do you think, how do we get here with the gaming industry?
Well, a lot of the problem is like, we did talk about the pandemic, and obviously gaming changed a ton during that time. Like you couldn't go anywhere, you couldn't interact with people. It was a really good way to still get interaction and entertainment when you're stuck inside, or when you're bored or whatever. And that's fantastic. But, they saw all this growth and they were just like, okay, well, 2020 is gone and now 2021, we still have all this growth. And they just made a lot of bad decisions of, hey, let's put all our eggs in this basket, or, put all our funds over here. They hired a lot more talent. So I think some of the way that it went wrong was they were banking on all that extra capital. So they lost all these pandemic players when they went back to work, because let's face it, like you can be at work for 8 to 9 hours, come home, you still got to spend time with your family, you still got to do things, and then you've got to get up and get ready for work the next day. So it doesn't leave as much time. I remember I used to I never gamed during the week before the pandemic. I couldn't.
Right.
And so I think that was one of the problems. Another problem is the fact that CEOs are going to hate me if they ever see this, but they're making bad decisions.
They are. That is apparent like, to anybody that's keeping an eye on everything that's going on.
Why would you invest in NFTs as a gamer?
I read that industry just imploded. It imploded like months and months ago.
I read that one CEO continuously, not once, not twice, but at least 3 times that I read, was pushing the NFTs.
I want to say Square Enix is still on the NFT train. I want to say, if I'm not mistaken.
And it's like, the whole point of those was that it's basically like this copyright that you do. So like you could own this and you register it as an NFT. And because it's so rare, it's much more expensive. The worth is more. What part of video gaming translates to that? Like, what are you going to do? Make a golden Pokemon card that's super rare that nobody can get their hands on unless they have it? Like, there's no real good reason for the NFTs in gaming that I can see.
Gotcha. Okay.
So when you're pushing for stuff like that, that's kind of stupid.
That is a new angle too.
I did get irritated, and I know it's been years and years in development, but I got irritated when I saw they finally put out that box that like you could smell the games. Right? Like,
gimmick,
there's some people that really want to immerse themselves and have that experience.
That is so crazy.
And I even had somebody write back on X, and they were like, well, it has nothing to do with video game industry. It was another company that did it. Yes. But how many studios invested in this.
Give me one.
No problem.
No, baby. No.
So that was my thinking, was, did any studios invest in this? Somebody had to have.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of like you're making bad decisions, you're taking bad risks,
mm-hmm.
and so on. There was another one, I think it was Epic. They had like an entire like server farm that they weren't even using at all. And so I give props to Epic, because at least they tried to find cost-cutting ways before they started their layoffs, which was awesome. But you know, it was stuff like that. Like, you know, you're busy doing the day-to-day and running and coming out with new stuff constantly, and I get that.
Yeah.
But in a business, you really need to pay attention to what you're doing. Like, like with Power World, it's costing them so much,
like $500,000.
Yeah. And it's like, okay, well, do you maybe need to buy your own servers now that you're starting to get some income? You've got to look at ways to cut things. And like there was one studio, I can't remember because I've read so much over the last month. But like, you need a boba bar.
A boba bar?
Yeah, like in the boba drinks. With like the little, they've got like little jellies in them and stuff like that. But anyway, they made like a whole like snack bar and like drink bar and all this other stuff. But instead of getting rid of that, before they did layoffs, they started laying people off.
Yeah.
And
is that like, what Epic did that?
I don't remember which studio it was, but one of the developers that got laid off was saying that, and I was just like, I'm sorry, but if I'm facing, you know, that sort of stuff, I'm getting rid of the Red Bull machine, you know, that I'm stocking you guys with. You're gonna have to bring your own caffeine. So you've got stuff like that, like stupid spending. You know, like the perks are awesome, but when you're looking at laying somebody off, you need to stop having daily donuts and bagels. You need to stop
excellent point
with the free coffee.
Oh my gosh, that's excellent.
You know, we can bring our own coffee. You know,
freaking
like that's the sort of thing. And then you've got like, okay, so if I were to invest in a game today, I wouldn't see anything probably until at the earliest 2028. But realistically, I probably wouldn't see that game till 2030.
Right.
So if I dump $100,000 into a game, I'm not going to even get that back.
That's right.
For at least 5 to 6 years.
Yeah.
So you've got investors that aren't investing anymore because they're just like, well, you know, it takes so long to get a return and it's not even a guarantee anymore.
That's right.
Which is true. We saw that with it was Square Enix with Forspoken. Game looked amazing. The demo, I know they probably didn't work on the demo that much, but I wasn't into the demo. I didn't like how like I couldn't even get the jumping to work very well. And when I finally did, I was just like, this just isn't enjoyable. And the demo was a bit choppy and stuff. I know that the game itself is not that way, but it didn't get good reviews.
Right.
So it didn't succeed. And I know for a fact that there's like a ton of people that I respect their opinions and they're saying, you know, this didn't get a fair shot. And I'm like, you know what? You're probably right.
Yeah.
You know, but so you had that game and they put a lot into advertising. They put a lot into like the Twitch drops and everything else that they've done. And it didn't get anything back. Like I saw it for like $17 at Christmas. And I was like, dang. And
I'm looking it up. It looks like it cost about $100 million to make. And that's a pretty penny to be putting out there and not get any ROI on it.
Exactly.
You know?
So, you know, they don't do commercials the way that they used to. They don't do promos the way that they used to. So advertising costs, I don't think are a major problem for them, especially with all of us gamers, social media.
It
content
depends.
Creators.
When I looked at it, it's similar to how Hollywood does theirs. It's about the same amount. So if you get a game that is $100 million, you can bank on it being that much for advertising. So you're looking at $200 million for the whole kit caboodle. You know what I mean?
Yeah. which I get. You just don't see the flashy stuff like you did, like in the 90s with Sega. You know, like Sega.
Do you remember the Sega Dreamcast commercials? How weird they were? Oh my God.
And if you watch the Game Awards, they put out a new commercial that had a lot of callbacks to those 90s commercials. And I just thought it was hilarious. I was like, yes, you know, I got all pumped again. But anyway, so, you know, advertising, yes, I see it, but you don't see like the pomp and circumstance. I think it could be way worse.
Right. Yeah, it could be for sure.
We've got a lot of inflation. So that's hurting the gaming industry as well.
Oh, yeah.
You've got to think about the fact that like every single dev has to have their own setup. So you've got to pay for the programs that they need. You've got to pay for their equipment, their mouse, their keyboard, their 5 monitors if they have to have 5. You got to pay for the PC itself. So you're thinking about that. You're thinking about the hours that they put in. I mean, junior devs get a lot less, but they're still having to kind of do all that stuff. What else was I reading on costs? I think the biggest thing is that they're not getting the investments that they did, and they're way overspending. You know, like we were talking about Spider-Man 2 being like 350 million, and like the sequel Spider-Man 3 is projected to be at like 380 million or something. And I'm like, I can see you guys going way over budget on that. But
what game?
Spider-Man 3, they're talking about that being even more expensive, and I was just like, wow, that's just insane to me. But you've got those CEOs that are like trying to invest, or the worst thing was we saw a bunch of buying other studios.
Yes, that was a big one for me, and I was like, oh my God, because during that time we actually thought that the gaming industry was switching strategies. I thought they were, because you had Tencent, they were buying up all these studios. You had Xbox with the biggest acquisition ever. You had Sony, they were buying up all these studios. Everyone was buying. Oh gosh, I almost said Engadget. The biggest one, Embracer Group, was the worst of the worst. They freaking, you know, buy up all these studios and then didn't even have the money in their wallet to put it down. They were depending on someone else to kind of foot the bill for that. That's why.
Well, that $2 billion deal that fell through. You can't spend money without having it.
That's right.
Like, that's the stupidest mistake that you have ever made. That CEO needs to be fired.
Yes, and that kind of is like the epitome of what's going on with the gaming industry. You know, they thought that this was going to go on for you know, for not, hopefully they didn't think it was going to go forever, but they thought it was going to last for a while. And so he felt very comfortable to buy up all these studios and, you know, not think that, you know, that chicken would come home to roost, you know. So I'm wondering, like, what was going through these CEOs' minds when they were buying up all these, because don't get me wrong, it's when Embracer were buying all these IPs up, these studios, they had some really great IPs. Very, you know, worth a lot of money. But if you don't have that on hand, you know, then you can't do that, you know.
If they would have at least had like a contract or something, I could have understood more. All you had was a verbal agreement, and that is not legally binding.
No, it's like, not legally binding.
Okay, well, like, say you tell me you're going to give me $300,000 for my YouTube channel, and I'm like, all right, and I go out and I spend $150,000.
There you go.
And you're just like, you know what? I really can't do it.
That's right.
I don't believe in it. I don't want to do it anymore. It's just too much of a risk. I'm stuck negative 150 and up the creek. You know, like, it's not smart. I just don't understand why there have been so many bad decisions. And then you've got you've got all the bad decisions of the CEOs. They're either overspending or over investing in things. You know, the video game industry is this huge risk taking business, you know. So you either you know, they're always pushing to take risks and elevate it, but at the same time they're also not taking risks. So they're like the NFTs, they're taking a risk, but they're taking the wrong risk.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So they could have passed up on this X situation, XYZ, like this is what we had. No, we're not going to do that. We're going to go to NFTs. And then this could have paid off, and NFTs are like in the toilet.
Yeah.
So I think that was a big thing.
Yeah.
You know, the video game industry crashed in 1993 or 1983. I'm sorry. It was a crash in 1983. And they didn't think that video games would ever come back. And it ended up that Nintendo is what saved everything.
Yeah.
I don't remember all the specifics of it because I was 2 in 83. You know? And so I don't know all the specifics of it, but I do know that there was a video game crash, and it looks like we might be headed towards another one.
Yeah. Yeah.
The layoffs.
I have to 100% agree with that one. Yep.
Yeah. The layoffs right now, it's breaking my heart. When I read this week, there are several employees, whether it be dev or like the creative managers or the content, social media people, at Gorilla, they lost their jobs. And I mean, it just kind of crushed me to see their posts on X and everything like that, and seeing that like Sony London completely shut their studios was just heartbreaking for me. And like the UK itself, but particularly London, because it's so expensive, they're having a huge crisis as far as, you know, money and inflation and housing and such like that. So to see a specific area that's already having so much trouble, and that was probably a lifesaver for a lot of people. They've just closed an entire studio, and now these people are even worse off than they were. Because things are bad in the UK right now. There's a huge crisis over there. So that broke my heart. And so I've been focusing on all this stuff and reading all about the devs, and then I started thinking, I think like yesterday, like, well, how is this going to affect us? Because I mean, we're all worried about the devs and the companies and the canceled games and everything like that. It's just the tip of the iceberg. Like, what's going to happen to our gaming experiences, especially someone like me. I'm hitting older games right now, which is fine. But you know, I'm trying to build my brand on, you know, video games and walkthroughs and such like that. It also, you know, I'm a veteran. I have PTSD and such like that. I have real bad depression, and it's something that helps me on a daily basis. And I don't think a lot of people think about that, the mental health aspect of how it can really help you.
Right.
And so it's just like scary for me to think, like, what happens if these games stop?
So that's I don't think that they will completely 100% stop.
No.
The mobile industry, I'm gonna save that for like the last part, but I think right now they have a 3-pronged problem. Is you know, the consumer, you know, our wallets are shrinking right now because of inflation. Our dollar doesn't go as far, and you know, now the gaming industry is talking about increasing their prices to you know, kind of help them ease the stranglehold that they're going through right now, you know, having to lay off and cut costs somewhere, right? So that's that's us as the consumer. I think what they're running into is, you know, like you said, the CEOs making bad decisions. Why are they trying to make $300 million games? That's absolutely ridiculous. Crazy stuff. Is like, you know, it doesn't seem like they're looking internally on the things that they can cut costs on, make the games costing this much. You know, like Alan Wake 2 was a fantastic game. I know the mechanics are different and everything like that, but it looked absolutely beautiful. And Remedy made that game for $75 million. You know, so, and not to mention,
and they had actual like movie scenes
right
in it, you know.
Yeah.
So,
and not to mention, like Spider-Man, the first Spider-Man was only 100 million, you know. So it's like, in what's his name, Skill Up, he made a really great point. It's like, you mean to tell me you couldn't just reuse a lot of those things that from the first one to put in the second one, you know?
Which you can,
right?
And it's ridiculous. You don't have to make it from the ground up,
right? But $300 million, something has to change with that. That is, you're spending way too much money for that.
You spent $300 million and you didn't even have the Puerto Rican flag right. I'm just saying, you know, like, come on, guys. Where is your, you know, somebody's supposed to be there to be checking this stuff. And so, you need a different QA tester.
But like, it's let's say Spider-Man 2 didn't make its money back. They're eating that $300 million, you know, themselves. And so with flop after flop after flop, these games getting more expensive to make, that's not good for a studio. Because let's say a smaller studio, Remedy, in, you know, from the reports that are coming out, $75 million, Remedy still hasn't made their budget back. So they're still, you know, hoping. I'm gonna get Alan Wake 2, not just so I can support Remedy, but because it is an awesome looking game. I want to play it. But if, let's just say, Remedy never makes that back, they're coming out with Control 2. Let's say that's another $75 million. They don't make that back. You know, that is going to destroy that studio. So they need to figure out how to make these games cheaper to make. Helldivers 2, I'm not sure. I'll look that up, but you know, $40. They're struggling because the success is too great. But they're not charging you.
Can't handle it. So.
Right. They're not charging you $60 or $70 for it. And I'm pretty sure they've made more than their money back. Power World, they, you know, I'm sure they didn't spend $100 million on making Power World, and you know, they've made more than their budget back. You know, so there are ways to make these games. There are ways to make these games cheaper. So, you know, and give the consumer what they want, and, you know, not gouge our eyes out with the prices. So I think they really need to take a step back instead of firing all these devs. You know, that's the first thing they went to. That's the first thing they went to, instead of trying to figure out how to make these games cheaper to make. Instead of firing devs, you know, look at the CEO's pay. I'm so sorry, but dude, they make too much money, especially, you know, the kind of leadership they had during the pandemic. Sorry, you didn't earn that. You know, if you have to lay off, I agree. If you have to lay off this amount of people, your CEO, he screwed up somewhere, dude. And you're paying him millions and millions of dollars. You know,
another bad problem that we have with the video game industry is it's just like any other corporation, but they're focusing too much on making stockholders happy. So right now they're getting rid of all these devs, and so now they can reallocate it to make it look like there's more money coming in.
That's right.
And make their shareholders happy.
Yeah.
And that's a real problem too.
That is unfortunately the name of the game, though.
Yeah, I mean, I do get trying to make your shareholders happy.
Yeah.
But you know, at that, and I can't praise Epic enough. At least they tried to find cost-cutting solutions before they started laying everybody off. That's probably why their layoff number is way lower than everybody else. As far as Twitch goes, they laid off 500 people. Why? Like, you don't even make video games. Like, why did you have to fire 500 people? It's just insane. And the thing is that we had we had a huge boom.
Mm-hmm.
We're also always trying to one up ourselves
Mm-hmm.
in the gaming industry. And at this point, how much better can you get?
Yeah, they're
You
gonna
know,
have to change strategy, I think. But yeah, yeah.
exactly.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if something doesn't change, the video game industry is going to have another big crash like it did in '83, and I
Mm-hmm.
definitely don't want to see that.
Me neither.
But I think that one of the things they need to start focusing on, and you might have to lose shareholders, but you need to have a come to Jesus meeting with them. You know, like, hey, this is what's going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
It might, you know, I don't know anybody that invests in the video game industry and thinks I'm going to get double this back by the end of the quarter, you know, or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's not how it works.
Yeah, with the way I see that, like, they see the industry growing. It's on an upward trajectory. It's standing to be like 386 billion by like in 2 years, you know. So that makes sense. I could see the allure of investing in the game industry. Even with all these layoffs, they're still doing kind of good. They're still doing well. But with the investors, they're the ones that kind of give them their money, you know, so they can keep operations going and things like that. So I get why they have to appease those guys, because, you know, the money starts, the investment money kind of dries up, then it's a downward spiral after that. However, I think they can do both. You know what I mean? I think they can cut costs and make sure shareholders happy, because if, let's say, Spider-Man 2 was $100 million, they would have been rolling in the bucks. I mean, they kind of still are, but they would have been rolling more in the bucks. And I'm sure shareholders would have loved to see that. You know what I mean? So it's like,
exactly.
There's a way to do both. I know, I mean, I'm not a CEO. I don't own any of these companies, but holy crap, there's no reason this game should cost as much as a big budget movie to make. There's no reason for that. I'm sorry.
I agree. I know there's got to be a way that you can, you know, I get you got to pay so much for, like, if this developer has like 15 years of experience and this one has 2.
Yeah.
You know, obviously this one has a bit better, but you're paying them more.
Right. Because
you know what
have
I mean?
that experience.
Exactly. And I'm not saying that you need to get rid of either one of them, but maybe pair them together and get more done. You know, you're having too many people doing too many things on this because you want to hit it out at a certain time. I'm not saying, and then other times you have a ton of people and you're running your devs into the ground.
Yes. That crunch.
You know,
goodness.
Yes. And I think planning, promises, and all this other stuff, there's just so much that needs to be reevaluated in the business, because they're still making hand over fist in profits. Like, as far as like looking at the sales of consoles and video games and this and that. But they've really got to go through and do an audit and come up with a plan, you know, because unfortunately everything's snowballing, so it's going to continue to get worse before we see it get better. And if they don't start some major planning now to try to counteract that, then I think we will have another video game crash.
And so where it all began is, I think, is indicative of the layoffs now. So you know, I would venture to say, and I mean, the cost of making these games have been creeping up for a long time too, don't get me wrong, but the pandemic was kind of, they kind of went on a spree hiring all these devs and, you know, buying up all these studios. They didn't know what their future held, and they did it anyway. And so now it's slowed down. You know, people aren't buying as much. Inflation is hitting everybody in their pockets. And so, you know, instead of buying this $70 game, I might wait till it hits a bargain, you know, hits the bargain bin, or, you know, gets a discount or something like that. So that's less money going to, you know, them to recoup for the game that they made. And so they they overhired, they overbought, and now things are looking dire. They're in a weird spot right now where the game industry obviously isn't doing well, and but they're still making money. I think that's gonna quit real fast. I think that is an unsustainable thing. And I think
it very much is.
Yeah, they're getting rid of their devs just to kind of put a not a band-aid, but they're med kitting this bleeding wound right now.
Yeah, they're doing triage right now, yes. For sure.
But I think if there aren't changes that are made, there will be a crash. There will be something that is going to completely decimate the gaming industry. However, I think Xbox is doing really well right now. I like where their head's at, getting into with buffing up their Game Pass and cloud, and trying to get Xbox on every screen. That is very smart.
It is.
And so
that brought me to another thing. Sorry, that just triggered something.
Yeah.
Do you remember when Apple started doing the Ask to Track update?
Yes.
And the privacy?
Yeah.
That's ruining mobile gaming. Like, I read an article on it, like I want to say like a month or so ago, maybe. Oh, my cat is rubbing against the camera. Sorry, guys. He said, "Ooh, this looks good."
And there you go.
One thing with the other.
Yeah. Oh, I feel that.
So they were saying that mobile games are huge. Everybody is playing something to like waste time while they're waiting at the bank or doing whatever. Well, with all the ads now, with Apple doing the Ask to Track or the limiting and stuff like that, they're not getting the data that they need anymore for advertising. And so they're not knowing what to advertise for or how much to advertise for, or even getting consumers to something new because they are blocking all of this stuff.
Yeah.
Well, I know, like with Injustice, they came out with a mobile game, and it's cool because like I like when you like come up with like these mobile games that can tie in with your regular games. Like I really loved it because I was getting rewards in my game and getting all sorts of cool stuff on my phone, but then I was also getting stuff in my actual console game because I was playing it. And I think that that's a great like little model to follow. And it'll get people in there and you'll get more microtransactions and stuff. But when you've got, and don't get me wrong, I'm on a MacBook right now. I have an iPad right next to me as well as an iPhone. But I did notice that became more of a problem. I'm either getting way more aggressive ads constantly and more of them. Or I'm not getting any information about stuff that I would like to get information on.
Gotcha.
If that makes sense.
Yeah.
And so like there was an article, I forget what it was. I could probably look it up. But they were talking about how that was actually a really big problem and had really cut into the video game industry as well.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So and that was something I hadn't even thought of.
Yeah. And that was actually going to be one of my solutions to getting these studios back on track. I really think they need to buff up their mobile gaming portion of their business, just because it's everyone has a phone. Phones are getting better every time they come out. I know it's kind of a what do you call it? Not return, it's oh gosh, it's like at a certain point there's no room to innovate, you know what I mean? What is that called? Oh my god, my brain is scrambled eggs. My brain is scrambled eggs.
We didn't get enough sleep, guys. I know what you're talking about. I'm sure. Ask Lord Beerus. He's probably on. He knows.
Oh, okay. So this is a great segue. We're gonna get into because I'm sure there's a ton.
I'm sure.
We're gonna get into comments real quick.
Okay.
Here, let's see.
Anything embarrassing, right. Lord Beerus, and I'm turning the camera off.
There we go. I'm not sure why it's doing that, but
that way you can't catch a blush.
There we go. Okay. Now we got it.
There we go. And the brain.
Yes, Saturday Justice League meeting assemble. Roll call. Fox. Geek. Oh, okay. I'm an idiot. And Panda, the brain. Right on. And I put this on there. We are without Panda this time. He is with us in spirit.
That he is.
Lord Beerus, Panda must be out hunting more eucalyptus because he's hungry. Fight on, Panda, and get the eucalyptus. Yes, he's every other week. So he's off on Saturday, and the next week he's on. He's on this week, so he'll be off next week. So hopefully he'll jump on the stream with us next week. But he's got beat down at work, man, and it happens to all of us. He needs an extra charge. Rough. Yeah. Oh yeah. Mm-hmm. Lord Beerus said that means we have the Fox and Geek connection. That's a parody of the Rock and Sock connection from WWF for all those non-pro wrestler fans. Rock.
That's pretty good.
Lord Beerus, the gods and angels here with the Grand Priest and the Omni King all have faith in you both to carry his heavy intellectual load like a crane at a construction site. Let's get this Foxen party going. Yes.
That's fantastic.
I love the Dragon Ball Z references.
We've got Lord Beerus to bring the laws today.
Yeah. Yes, so that's right.
Yeah, so he's helping us carry it out.
Lord Beerus, are all you mortals to go like, share, and subscribe to Fox, Geek, and Panda. Otherwise, I'll destroy your planet. I heard like Beerus's voice in my head just now when reading that.
Mm-hmm. That's hilarious.
For Gamer Geek, word around the cab stand is that the new Trolls movie should be streaming out in March 2024. I've seen it on Prime. But mm-hmm. You have to pay us like $20, I want to say.
Yeah.
Which isn't bad. It's 6 of us. So going out to the movies, getting everyone on the same page is not happening anyway.
No.
So it's get your shoes on 100 times, get your jacket 100 times, and then get in the movie theater. Don't run over there 100 times. Come over here 100 times, and then they're gouging out with the prices. And I'm like,
I'm telling you,
I'm really thinking that that dual streaming for theaters and at home, that was probably it. I mean, it hurt theaters. Don't get me wrong. I don't want to see them go away, but geez, man, I want to watch movies too and not have to freaking wait for them to come out.
But I mean, I think it's also like helped them recoup some of that money that they would be losing, mm-hmm. because as far as ticket sales go, mm-hmm. like, okay, so you're probably getting 1.5 mm-hmm. ticket sales by doing it at home, mm-hmm. and losing 1.5 or 2.
Yeah.
Instead of losing 4,
so
3 or 4 together. You know what I mean? So I think it was a good strategy for them.
Mm-hmm.
I know that I saw the new Trolls movie when I was at Target the other day.
Very cool.
But it said it was a sing-along edition, and I don't know if that's an all sing-along edition or just like it's got a sing-along option.
Yeah.
I didn't stop to check. I just kept walking. I'm not a good singer, but I will belt it out.
And who didn't sing along with the first one? The first one probably was the best one. It seemed more organic.
Yes.
The second one was more of. It was more gimmicky. It's like, let's put all these pop songs in here so people will come to see it at the movies, But the first one seemed like a more organic story. It was better in my opinion.
It definitely was, and I really loved it. And actually, their even their Christmas movie, their little Christmas special, their 30-minute thing, that was more organic than the second one to me. But I mean, it cracked me up, like growly, like that. That's like my line from that movie.
Yeah.
But the first one was my favorite.
Yeah.
I do want to see the second one, and also Lord Beerus. It's March 2nd. So.
Gotcha. Okay.
I need some more specifics other than March 2024 because it's March 2024. Okay. So look that up. Get it to me by Friday, my birthday, and I'll forgive you.
Also, so I was thinking one of the ways that, That sucks. Dang it. Nope, that doesn't work. Like if, let's say AMC, they do have an app, but I don't know if you can buy movies on there. But let's say AMC came out with an app and these studios dump their new movies on like the AMC app or this theater's app or whatever. They would have to close down their theaters because, you know, people would stop going there, but the companies would still be making money, these theaters companies. So I don't know. I don't know how to solve that one. That one's way over my head because I want to see the theaters, you know, survive, but I also don't want to take, you know, all six of us to the theater, you know, so I don't know. I'm rocking a hard place.
I get
right
it.
there.
I think that they're coming back and they're able to survive at least for now. If they did have some sort of like at home rental, like I think that would be pretty cool. And you know, they'd be cutting into Apple and Prime and everything like that, but why shouldn't you get a piece of their pie? I'm just saying, you know, like, you know, purchasing online, just like, you know, in the pandemic, that thing skyrocketed, and now like you've still got it. There's drive up, pick up, and delivery everywhere now still. But you still see a lot more people in the stores.
That's right.
For me, it was really great because I don't like going into the out. And so
I gotta be in the mood for it, you know.
I'm not gonna lie, these Mario and Luigi, I found them on sale the other day. And like I ordered them on Target for pickup instead of walking into the store to go buy them. Just these two things. Nothing else. Because I can't go into stores half the time, like especially if I'm alone. But I had my Bowser and I was like, I really need Mario and Luigi. And I found them. They're $20 in the store.
Are we talking about stuffed animals?
No, these guys. They're, oh, wait, hang on. You can't see them in the camera. These guys.
Right on from the movie, yeah?
Yeah.
Right. Oh, okay.
I can't find the camera. There we go.
Hey.
With the assist from Gamer Geek Jr. All right. Here you go, buddy. And we got one more. Oh, Cat Mario.
Oh, dope. Oh my gosh. That's great.
Yeah. And so, but then you do things like they did with Target. I would have ordered it on Target anyway for pickup. Oh yeah, this is my my Bowser.
That's amazing.
Yeah, this came in a box, like a fan box the other day.
Yeah.
And so I was like, now I need Mario and Luigi to go with it, like bigger ones. And the whole thing is that they are $19.99 in store if you go pick them up at Target. But on their app, it was like $9.98 or something, or 10, or like one of them was like 8 something.
What the fudge?
Yeah. And so like that, and that's a big thing I do all the time. Like I'll be like, oh, you know, I want to buy this movie, and then I'll be like, what is it on Amazon? What is it here? What is it there?
That's awesome.
And so, yeah. And like you're encouraging more. Because I think you want to have those people that you hired in the drive-up, I think you want to keep their jobs. So they're doing stuff like that to encourage more people to like buy online and deliver and stuff like that, or bring them out to your car. So that is pretty cool, because I mean, if you buy online, you're just going to want to drive up and pick it up instead of park, walk in, and all that other stuff.
Oh yeah.
My son wanted me to show you this too, by the way.
Oh yeah.
That's awesome.
It is. I love it. Freaking, if it's, because I like for my Dragon Ball Z figures and my Teenage Little Mutant Ninja Turtles minis, if they had them at the store cheaper, that is worth a walk-in for me.
If they're cheaper for me to go inside and get, yes, I will. But somebody's coming with me. I used to have such bad social anxiety that I would have to like just put in headphones, head down, walk like immediately to where I needed to go, and then like waddle my way out as fast as possible, since I'm gimpy and can't run good. But I've gotten better over the years, but still. So just wherever I can find anything cheaper right now. And that's the rub with the gaming industry. We're looking for bargains because we're hurting just as much as you are. But I think it's important that we also that's why I like doing these podcasts. We get to do our opinion, but we also get to drop things that we're learning about why it is the way that it is, and help other people understand. Because I think that's where a lot of us are or were, is that we weren't understanding, why is this happening?
100%. It's just like, it's like, why are games costing this much? Freaking why are they getting rid of all their devs?
We're seeing like a 58.7 billion in sales in 2023, and then wondering, why did you just lay off almost 10,000 people in the last 2 months?
That's right. Yes.
Yep. It's an insane. Whoops, I dropped something. It's an insane thing, and you've got to, as a consumer, I think you need to kind of learn a little bit about what's going on in the market, especially if it's something that you like, because you never know, you might be able to help. You know, that little bit of extra knowledge can help you with this purchase or that purchase, or you can do things like you can start looking into more indie games.
Yeah, that too.
And stuff like that. There are a lot of great ones out there that I've never even heard of. My son will come all the time. He's so awesome because he's here this weekend. I just love him. But he'll come to me all the time and he'll talk to me about games. And like last night we were talking, he goes, have you heard of Helldivers 2 yet? No. Yes, baby, I have. But he's just so cute, and he'll talk to me about all this other stuff, and that's how I learn about most of my indie games, is from my older two kids. And it's
Good
adorable
stuff.
So I mean, I learned more now recently than I did years ago. Because they're now adults and on their own, and telling me about it. But you know, that's my primary source of indie info, and he'll tell me all this stuff about it, and so that can really help. You know, checking out some of these indie games, because there's a lot of great stuff that you might not even know exists.
That's right. We've got another one from Lord Beers. The Tigers of Princess story sounds exactly like American Dragon Jake Long from the Disney Channel. That was really good back in the day. Disney Channel back in the day. Yeah, I love that one.
I forgot about that one.
Me too. My all-time favorite, it's definitely in my top, at least top 5, is Jackie Chan's Jackie Chan Adventures. So amazing.
I love everything Jackie Chan.
Yes, me too. Lord Beers, again, bitter, cranky old dude. Sounds like me every day. That's hilarious. Hold on. Lord Beers, Dragon Ball Evolution. We never speak of that. Yeah, that movie doesn't exist.
Oh my goodness.
Lord Beers, again, all those perks on company money, financial misappropriation. Yes. Okay. Let the employees bring their own stuff and cut costs to reduce potential layoffs or firings. What's more important, food or a job? So I was trying to find how much when Elon Musk took over Twitter. I want to say they were paying millions of dollars for, you know, lunches at work, snacks, like entertainment areas, you know what I'm saying? All that stuff. And I want to say it was all free. He was paying millions of dollars, I want to say a month or a year, to keep those things, you know, up and going. And then he finally said, you know what, we're cutting this. It's costing us too much money. You know, there's no reason to be paying all this.
Listen, Elon, all you got to do is throw in a nap room and some vending machines, and that's going to be the best place to work in the world. So, you know. Employees are buying their own stuff, and you can make some money off of it from those vending machines, because you can buy your own.
Right. And then
give them a little nap room, you know. If they want privacy, you can rent some of the little pods like in the airports.
Do you remember when those TikToks was coming out of the people who worked at these companies, and they were like, oh, we're gonna start our day with the guava something smoothie. So I go up, I get on my computer for like a couple hours, go to a meeting, then it's time for lunch. I go down to the cafeteria. It looks like they're having Caesar salad today. And I'm like, what? It's like, did you do any work today?
Right.
But they do. I'm not taking that away from them. But, you know, that's a very cushy job. I mean, I'm going to be 100% honest with you. You know, hate me if you want, hot take. That was very cushy to go to work and have all that stuff there for you. Cut that, you might be able to put some of that back into your pocket. You know what I mean? And appease
we're
these
gonna
shareholders.
We're gonna start our own company, and we're just gonna lay out bird feed. And
That's it.
We'll give you one pillow and an army, roll out mat. Like, like, there you go. Bring your own computer too, because we're not gonna buy them.
Yeah. If you're getting overwhelmed, we got Birdseed. Go feed the pigeons outside.
I know.
That is very therapeutic.
I'll give you timeout cards and a beanbag.
oh my god!
You go sit in the beanbag corner for a few minutes.
I remember when I was getting out of boot camp, and like everyone in there hated it. We hated boot camp, and we were like, man, we should have joined the Air Force. But right,
right. That's exactly what my thought was.
Yes, but I was we were getting out of boot camp and about to go to the fleet, and everyone was like, oh dude, you hear they got stress cards in it was the Air Force or the Army. It's like, what's that? It's like, you have a card in your pocket and you could throw up a yellow card and get time out and all that good stuff. And I was like, oh no.
Yeah, I heard about it. Like, my brother was talking about it when he went, and I was just like, what?
Yeah.
And yeah, I'm pretty sure that I would have been a worse drill sergeant just being his sister than what they eventually started getting.
Yeah.
I was really sad that I didn't go into the Army when I got to Alaska, and my sergeant was like, let's go to lunch. And I was like, okay. I lived in the building on post that had our cafeteria. So
cool. Okay.
We get in the car and start driving off, and I'm like, where are we going? Like, this dude's gonna kill me, like, I'm scared.
Yeah.
So we were a joint Army Air Force base.
Gotcha.
So we went to the Air Force side. We walked in. It looks like I'm in a tavern.
Yeah.
Like there are, bear heads, there's mounted horns and everything like that. It looks like I walked into a log cabin. I walk up. It barely looks like a line, like I really expected someone to come take our orders.
Yeah.
But we get up to the line and they say, what do you want today? And they're like, the sergeant I was with said something about steak. And I was like, steak? And he was like, yeah, you want steak? I'll give you steak. How do you want it cooked? And I was like, wait, what? And they were like, yeah, we can do this, and this, and these are what your options are today. And I was like, options?
Air Force,
like,
what
plural?
are you doing?
Yeah. And so they give you the stuff, and you either can wait for it or go to a table. And I mean, like, they had a fireplace. They had like lighting. It was set up fancy.
Yeah. That's so funny.
I had cloth napkins. I was just like, maybe my dad was onto something.
This is so silly, and people were probably, I don't care, but the best I've ever eaten in the military is when I was deployed to Afghanistan. That's the best I've ever eaten. The DFAC over there, they were doing steak and lobster on like the weekends or whatever. It was freaking nuts, dude.
They did a lot of good stuff. I was lucky because one of my best friends, he's like a brother to me, but when I was in Alaska, he was one of the sergeants that was a cook. And so like I would just walk up to him in the middle of the night and be like, man, can you go make me something? And give him like stuff that I bought from the store. And he'd be like, yeah, I'll be right back. He'd dope. Head down to the DFAC, come back, and I'd have like this meal and stuff. And I'm just like, dude, you're the best.
It's hilarious.
But yeah, Afghanistan and Iraq, they were doing some crazy stuff for us. It really, really was good, especially compared to usual. I got obsessed with chili mac, but only at Fort Jackson.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Because for some reason, like, it's weird because they all follow the same recipes, but only certain places make things as good.
Yeah.
So
it was like,
that's what I found.
When we had MREs, I want to say, at the main fob when I first got there, and then they sent us to another fob, and they had like a legit like DFAC, and we were going. Yeah, it was freaking awesome every day. Every day. Lord Beerus, Sega.
That's true.
Yes, gotta love you. When you heard that, you knew you were in for a good time. Lord Beerus, video games are a great therapeutic tool and a fantastic coping tool mechanism for anyone suffering with mental health challenges. Absolutely agree, Geek. 100%.
Yes, very much so.
This is I. Was that reminds me of
Oh,
Disney Hercules.
hey, I know who that is.
Yo, Robert. Is that one of your cat's names? No.
No.
Oh,
He
okay.
was talking to somebody else.
Oh, gotcha. Okay, Lord Beerus, I'll catch a blush anytime I want, like a pro baseball player.
You really will. It could be like a millisecond that I blush before I turn off the camera, and you would still have a screenshot of that.
Right.
I'm telling you, it's a game we play now.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh, we know. We know. It's become well known on the.
It's fun though, isn't it? Though.
Yes. You guys on Twitter are hilarious.
I know. We're like, everybody either thinks we're like this old married couple,
yeah,
or that we're brother and sister.
Hilarious. Lord Beerus, don't let Gamer Geek fool you. She's a great singer. It goes on the library list of her talents. Oh, you're so sweet, man.
He really is.
Yeah. Yeah. Grade A.
He's one of the greatest people I know.
Same.
Yeah.
He's freaking.
We'll have to edit that out when we post that, though. You know, we don't want him to think he's awesome.
Right. Yeah. No.
We can't let him get a big head.
No. Deadline, huh, Geek? Bossy britches today. I don't take orders from you.
Fine. I'm not giving you that raise we talked about then.
Oh yeah. Here we go. Gamer Geek Jr. with the clutch assist.
Yeah. He's a good assistant.
Oh, and then lastly, I told Geek, like Tommy from Goodfellas, I'm a clown here to amuse you.
Nice.
Didn't he kill some guy for that? Right? He was like,
you
think I'm a clown here to amuse you? And he kicked his butt or killed him. I don't remember. But
sorry,
that's
my
the last
going
one.
Wild over there.
Cat's going wild. It's not that kind of live stream, everybody. No, but
right.
freaking but we're coming to the last portion of this. We're talking resolutions, remedies for what the game industry is going through. My main one is, take a look at what you're spending on these AAA games, and you've got to bring that down. Like I said, and I don't even think Alan Wake 2 is more of a AA, riding the line of AAA games. It's a AAA game for Remedy for sure, and it looks fantastic. It's a AAA game, but $75 million, they still haven't gotten their budget back. So
yeah,
something's got to give with that, because if they keep doing that, Remedy won't be here for long. You know what I mean? And they've got
which would
really
be
fantastic IPs.
Awful.
Yeah. Oh yeah, freaking Max Payne.
I am getting Alan Wake 2.
Mm-hmm.
I just haven't yet. I also had a thing where I was going to get through like all the Resident Evils.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That you could at least on PS4 and PS5
mm-hmm.
This year. So I was just like, I can't really buy a whole bunch of new games right now because I've still got so much to go through.
Yeah.
Like I think I told you a few weeks ago, like I had God of War,
mm-hmm.
got it day one and hadn't opened it yet. So, or maybe that was somebody else, but it's so bad because I'll do that all the time. I'm just like,
yeah,
all right.
Yeah, same.
So,
like I've got Spider-Man 2 in the chamber, but I want to get through Guardians of the Galaxy first,
Guardians was actually a really good game.
It's very fluid. Goodness gracious, it's so fluid.
I've been watching your gameplay. It's pretty
Thank
awesome.
You. Oh.
You're welcome.
So, but in the combat feels really good too, and I like the story. Awesome. They do talk a lot, like the banter back and forth between them. It gets a little overbearing, but it's part of their characters. They're like a big family, so I get it, but it's teetering on annoying for me.
Yeah. They probably overdid it.
Yeah.
Because there's a fine line.
Right.
Like in the movies, I think they've been able to balance it pretty
100%,
good.
Yes.
But yeah, I could see how a video game they could carry away with it a little bit more. So
for me, it's bringing down the cost of these games, And then my second one is in reinforcing or beefing up your mobile presence.
Yes.
But for you, what would you like? What kind of advice would you give to these companies on how to avoid these layoffs and survive and grow, I guess?
Well, as far as, I mean, I don't think we're gonna be able to see an end to the layoffs anytime soon. I think what they need to do is, I think that they thought that they were going to get all this growth, so they hired way too many people. And so now we're seeing the results of that. The video game industry is huge. Everybody wants to be a part of it. So there's a lot in the marketplace as it is anyway. I think what they, like we were talking, you need to get a plan together. You need to see what you are spending. You need to do an audit of your whole company. Like, okay, what am I spending? Like, say the Sparklets guys come in and bring in water all the time. Well, okay, this isn't that much, but when I'm buying, coffee pods for the Keurig, that's getting to be a little bit much. Cut that. Cut that. If I want coffee, I can bring it from home. I used to do it all the time. Like when I was working at one of the shops, the owner brought in a Keurig, and he was like, "Here's the first box, it's on me." He was like, "But after that, y'all are responsible for it."
Right on.
He had that stupid money. He could have bought us like 3 years worth of that stuff, and like it was like his pocket change. But that was smart.
It's like Mr.
He was
Krabs
being smart
over
about
there.
it. Yeah. So it's okay to offer lunch to your employees. It's okay to give perks, but you're gonna have to do something like this $5 salad you get for $2.50. Like something like that. You something has got to give. You've got to get like, hey, I see that your food truck is out here. What do you do during the week? Something like that. Bring everything through so that they can go through and buy their own stuff. Like, I get the perks, all of it, but it's got to stop right now, because I guarantee you that somebody is going to say, I'd rather bring my own lunch, or I'd rather bring my own coffee, or this or that, and have a job versus have all those perks and risk being laid off, or watching their best friend getting laid off, etc. So they really need to do like an inventory. What are we spending? What can we cut? You need to check your servers, like Epic. You might find that you have an entire bank that you're not using. Why are you paying for it?
Right.
Instead of getting new equipment, you can take apart a PC or a laptop, and you can do these cool things like upgrade. You know what I mean? It's a lot easier to do on a desktop than, most of the time with laptops you can't do it. But
right. I know what you mean though.
I mean, you can find ways to cut costs. You can find like, if you've got such and such software, that's fine, or you can even offer the employees something. I bet you your employees are gaming at home. They might have an Alienware or something. You can do something where, like, if they are working on their own laptop and willing to do like this account, and that's secured and it's monitored on this account, but on your personal, something that they can do, where, because you can make different profiles and such. So if you bring your own and you allow our IT people to set this up and do like a virtual private network and such and such, and secure this account to make sure that nothing can get to it, we'll add like $10,000 to your salary or something like that. You know what I mean? Like, because over time, like, it could be, I know that I decked my first PC out. It was almost $5,000.
Oof. Yeah.
So if I was going to use that, and they decided to add $2,500 to my salary, I'd be cool with that.
100%. So, that's a good way to incentivize people to come work for you too. Or it could be this software, that software. There's plenty of things like there's free software that you can use. There's free. I mean, you can.
instead of hiring a composer that's been in the industry for years and years and years, go find that DJ that knows how to use GarageBand and hook it up, man. Something. Find a YouTuber that's creating music that you really like, that you think will fit in your game, and have them come in. I'm not saying get rid of everybody, but I'm just saying, like, look for cost saving ways, and also help people rise in the industry while you're at it. As far as the perks and the bonuses, I know I want to say it was Epic cut everybody's bonus in half for the year and stuff like that, and they tried to really come up with cost saving ways before they resulted to layoffs. I like that.
Me too.
But you also need to reevaluate your management, your upper management. You got to get the boards. The boards need to get together. They need to do an audit of their work, a review, and also their salaries. Unfortunately, you got to get rid of those perks that you're paying these CEOs. You do not need to give them a $5,000 bonus every quarter.
Oh, it's millions. Oh God.
I know. I'm just saying, but you don't need to give them a bonus every quarter or every year, not that kind of bonus anyway. If one of their perks is a timeshare that they get to use in Santa Monica, you know what I mean? Like, get rid of that timeshare. It's time to sell it.
Oh yeah.
I think a lot of people are just too used to being rich, happy, fat, eating golden gooses, eggs, or whatever it is, that they're not thinking about the stuff that they're overspending on. Like,
100%. Yeah.
I didn't watch Netflix most of the time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because shows take so long to come out. And so, I mean, I could go 2 months without Netflix and not even remember, like, oh, I don't remember the last time I used Netflix.
Yeah.
Well, that's $40 I was spending.
That's right.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
So for 2 months, that was $40 because I paid for the top plan. And then they were like, I'm going to raise it again. And I was like, no, you are not. Cancel.
And that's exactly what it is. That's exactly what it is. It is it's not one of the mains that you have to spend money on. So when times get tight, those are the first things to go,
Exactly.
And it seems like these people don't get it. They don't understand
it. It's really a fact that they need to audit, prioritize, and come up with, they need to problem solve.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like Epic's example of cutting everybody's bonuses in half. They didn't take them away completely. That was awesome.
Yeah.
But these people are probably relying on that at that time.
Yeah.
Getting rid of the ice cream bar or the boba bar or whatever perks they were getting, free lunches and stuff like that. Finding like that entire server that wasn't even touched.
That's right.
And then getting rid of that.
That's right.
That's great. What about you're paying this server company to maintain your stuff? What would it cost you to bring in a network engineer and a security network security personnel and pay them and buy a space and buy your own servers? What would it cost versus what you're spending?
Right.
Which one's more cost effective? It's easier for you to just pay these server farms because they have to come up with a business continuity plan to keep you online if something goes wrong, whether it's a fire, a hurricane, a tornado, as my son used to call them.
A tomato tornado,
whatever. Yeah, it was so cute. It was always tornadoes. But they're paid to do that. They're also paid for security. You've also got the security companies that you pay on standby, which is do not cut cybersecurity, period.
Right.
But definitely, what would be more cost effective?
Yeah.
Hiring somebody in-house and buying your own server farm, or what? And you've got to look at those business continuity plans if you decide to change from whatever server farm you're paying to house and host you.
Yeah.
You have to find out, like, what is their business continuity plan? What happens when you do if this or this happens, and you need to find somebody that can give you that information as well.
Yeah.
You gotta, it's a lot of planning and a lot of work, but I think that if they would spend $60,000 for a year contractor to come in and audit their stuff and come up with a better game plan and research the cost effective stuff, what can we cut, what can we reduce, that would get them a better leg up. And guess what, that money that you saved, you can take towards the investments that you're losing.
Oh yeah. Okay.
I mean, it's all simple for us to talk about, but they really do need to do it.
They need to do something. Some of it. Yeah. So top down audit. I really like Xbox's business strategy. I'd say, not totally copy that, but get something along those lines for your own company. I think a lot of like with the innovation part, these exclusives, they're holding back, I believe, a lot of businesses, a lot of corporations. Like let's say if Helldivers 2, if they put it on Xbox and there is actually a petition to get it on there, I want to say it has
it was huge.
60,000 signatures, 65,000 signatures, which, and I want to say their goal is 80,000 signatures. So they're almost there. But what they need to do is share their games more. Because if Helldivers 2 was on Xbox, they'd have double, who knows how much more they would make. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Microtransactions bother me, but at the same time, like, I understand that it helps offset the balance.
Yes.
I think that Mortal Kombat is really making me want to go kick them in their no places, because
hold on, give me one quick second.
Charging $25 for like this one outfit pack or whatever is just ridiculous. But I think microtransactions can help as long as they're doing it like in a more cost-effective way. Like, I don't mind buying X amount of gems or jewels or coins or whatever it is. Or V-Bucks, like when they reduce the price of that and gave you more for the same amount, like, that's what you need to do. We're all struggling. It's just not just your industry, but your customers are struggling. I think that if they did, like with Mortal Kombat and Injustice, they made these mobile games that kind of interconnected. They could still make money off these microtransactions on their mobile side. And then you would get these perks in game for the stuff you were doing on the mobile. And if they would do those two together, I think it could really, really create a better income.
And that's a good way to boost the mobile part of your business too.
Exactly. Cool. And then like with Resident Evil 4, they just put that out on like Mac and iOS, like everything, and brought it to PC and stuff. That is a great idea. They're starting to bring, like with Horizon Forbidden West, they put out the gold edition, so you get the whole game plus the DLC, and that just came out on PC, which is amazing. And so they're starting to do that. I do believe that with those online multiplayer games, like Xbox was talking about, definitely bring them to more people. But we need to wrap up, because
yes, I'm so sorry.
Daddy Dark Foxes need it.
Yes. Oh, gosh. But I mean, all very good ideas though. All very good ideas. But thank you so much, Gamer Geek, for jumping on here with me. I appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.
Fun. A big shout out to Lord Beerus. You're basically part of the panel too, so thank you for joining us.
We do enjoy it.
All right, but we're gonna wrap up here in a second. I'll see you on the other side. Have a good one.
You too. Bye.
Right on. So we had some really good answers. Top down, change of strategy, business strategy, invest more into the sides of your business that are growing. I think that is all very, very, very good. But thank you guys for joining in. We really appreciate it. If you enjoyed the conversation, the discussion, leave a like and subscribe. And don't forget, you can get to Gamer Geek. All of her information is in the description. Go through to her YouTube or Twitter, leave her a like, subscribe to her channel. You won't regret it. But with all that being said, we'll see you in the next live stream. Till then, keep it casual. Peace.